All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Saturday, the 16th of August, and I'm still out in Washington State, the Washington State Wine Auction, but through the magic of Wine Watch Television, I am here with you, and we have got one of the world's great wines here on the table today for sale, Chateau. And you know it's going to be a good night whenever you see a bottle of liquid gold come out, and we now do an annual event with Chateau on Valentine's Day. This year we did our first annual Chateau vertical. We've done them in the past, but what a better tasting on Valentine's than Chateau. All the way back to 1901, which was not even a great vintage for Yquem. This wine was still delicious. Amazing how long these wines from Sauternes last, and the amount of residual sugar, one of the things that help them last that long, and then the acidity also. Well, Chateau was made famous by, well, Thomas Jefferson, one of the people. He collected this wine back in 1785. When he visited Bordeaux, the wine was not sweet at all. It wasn't until like 100 years or so later that they started to make the great sweet wines of Sauternes. This is probably by accident. Well, the grapes have to sit out on the vines and rot. That's right, Botrytis cinerea. This is the noble rot, and what happens is it shrivels the grapes up, and it gives the wine a certain honeyed character after they get older. And Chateau, like other Sauternes, well, it is considered the greatest wine in Sauternes. First of firsts, when they were classified in 1855. This sits up on top of the hill and has a commanding view of all of the 4 different areas of Sauternes and a little different microclimate. It's a rather large estate. It's around 375 acres, 2/3 of which is under vine, 80% Semillon and 20% Sauvignon Blanc. And the thing about Sauternes, even though this is a large estate, you know, it takes 4 times as many grapes to make Sauternes as it does to make a regular bottle of wine. So for instance, if you're farming for concentration and flavor, you're going to say 1 grapevine, you're going to make 1 bottle. Well, 1 grapevine, in the case of Chateau and other great Sauternes, makes 1 glass. So very expensive. And then you have the situation where you don't get this rot every year. So in vintages like, I think 2013 or 12, they didn't make Chateau. Not many wines in the world can say that they have got a standard that is so high that in certain vintages they don't make it. And it also takes 10, 15 passes through the vineyard to pick the grapes at Chateau. There are only a handful of people in the world that go through the vineyard more than once to pick, to make sure all of the grapes are perfectly ripe. In this case, perfectly infected with this Botrytis cinerea. They do make a dry wine at Chateau. Why? Just like all the other great Sauternes, they name it just the first letter. They call it Ygret, which is how you say why, I guess, in French. And a very excellent wine also, just like the other dry wines of Sauternes, mostly Semillon instead of the wines of Pessac and Graves, which are mostly Sauvignon Blanc. But very unique, very distinctive, as are Sauternes. And just for your drinking pleasure, we're going to put all the Chateau that we have available in the store. Well, not everything. I'm holding back a 71 and a 75 for next year's vertical tasting, and maybe even a 67. But hey, if you've got a special bottle of Chateau that you would like to share, let's put that date, Valentine's Day 2015, on your calendar. And hey, a bottle of Chateau will work as admission to one of our Chateau tastings. So check it out, the newly released 2011, which some people are saying as good as 2001, which was our wine of the night for most tasters at our tasting, or the 88. So an outstanding vintage of and we've got a great price this year on full bottles under $400. All right, check it out, the new release on Chateau, along with all the other Sauternes and Chateau we've got here in the store. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.